Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be giving you all part 2 of my Christmas decorating series here on my channel. We're going to be decorating the Christmas tree. Charlie surprised me and got me a new Christmas tree this year from Target, so I'm really excited about that. And I'm also going to be giving you guys a super delicious scallop recipe. Scallop is one of Charlie's favorite seafood dishes, so I decided to show you guys one of my new recipes for that. And yeah, if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. My goal is to hopefully reach 200 subscribers by the end of 2019. I'm really hoping that we can get there, so I'd appreciate your support in that. And with all of that said, let's go ahead and get started. So one thing that I wanted to do real quick before I start decorating my tree is fix this DIY wreath that I actually made last year. There was a little accident and it actually fell when I was taking down some of my Christmas decorations, so some of the ornaments popped off. But if you guys would like, let me know in the comments below if you want me to show you guys how to make this wreath. It's super simple and really inexpensive. I think it probably cost me about $10 to make last year, and it's completely customizable, which you guys know that I absolutely love doing customizable DIYs. And I think that this is a perfect little wreath to hang on your door outside, or even hang it on your wall inside to go along with your Christmas decor.
hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean, yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss it.
So now I'm finally moving on to decorating my Christmas tree. I said earlier in the introduction that Charlie got me a new tree from Target this year, so I was super excited for that. It's a 7-foot pre-lit tree, and I'm kind of going with a traditional Christmas color scheme this year. So I'm doing gold, silver, red, and green. And something that I wanted to do to kind of entertain you guys while I'm decorating is, of course, I want you guys to be decorating along with me. But I also wanted to share a little Christmas miracle story that happened in my family last year. And to give you guys a little bit of background, my dad's mom, my grandmother, she has severe scoliosis, which, for you guys who don't know, is a curvature of the spine. It's a condition that can be hereditary. I do have it, but I was fortunate enough to catch it early, and my parents were able to get me a back brace that helped correct the curvature of my spine a couple of degrees, so that will help me in the future. But unfortunately for my grandmother, because by the time they discovered it, it was too late, she now has over an 80-degree curvature of her spine, which has caused her several health problems throughout her adult life, and she struggled with it for a long while. But she's a very religious woman, and she basically kind of overcame that through going to church and kind of praying and all of the things like that. But one thing that she also has is she has gone blind pretty much in both her eyes. She can see a little bit out of her peripheral vision, but right in front everything is just black. And so something that my grandfather found last year watching, I think it was a YouTube video, it was these special glasses that were designed, they kind of look like virtual reality goggles, and they're supposedly supposed to help people who have her specific condition be able to see. And so keep in mind, my grandmother has not been able to see my dad or any of her other children in a couple decades. She hasn't been able to see me for a long time. She's barely been able to really see my sister. She and my grandfather moved from Pennsylvania down to Georgia a few years ago, and she didn't even really know like what her environment looked like or anything like that. So it's putting that in perspective. Like not being able to see the different trees, the flowers, the birds, the houses, and stuff like that. That was something that she struggled with, and she had kind of come to accept it, but it was really hard for everyone because we wanted her to be able to experience everything. But my grandfather, like I said, found these goggles, and he decided that for Christmas he was going to get her these glasses, and this was kind of the last hope to see if these things would actually work. We hope that they weren't a gimmick just trying to sell these to people who were desperate or who really wanted to kind of have their own Christmas miracle. So my grandfather got the glasses, and when they finally got to my grandmother's house, we were all holding our breath, hoping that these would work and hoping that she would actually be able to see. So we unboxed it, she put the glasses on, and by golly, she was able to see everything. It was honestly the most amazing thing ever, and it was tear-jerking, and I honestly feel like I'm getting a little emotional even just thinking about it. but she could make out, my dad had his veteran's hat on, and she could make out what it said. She could make out what was on the TV. She could tell what different crystals were in my necklace that I had on. She could see the details of my mom's purse and things that she was never able to see before. And then with that, my mom was able to redesign the spare room because, excuse me, since I moved out of the house, my sister took over my room. Then my parents had the guest room, and there was the spare room, which used to be my sister's old room. So to surprise my grandmother, my mom transformed that room into a sewing room because before my grandmother lost her vision, she was really into quilting. And so my mom and I put together a giant table right in the center of the room. We repainted it into this beautiful light blue color, and we had the chair rail painted all white. And then we had a dresser that was outfitted to hold all of the fabric. We had a little desk that held the sewing machine and everything. And so now my grandmother, with her goggles, is able to see the little intricate details on how to sew and on the fabric. And she's able to quilt once again, which is something that just brings her so much joy. And again, you know, telling this story isn't to make anyone sad, but it's to kind of tell people that Christmas miracles do happen, because probably the best thing ever was her being in the car and looking around saying, "Has that always been there?" And then all of us kind of start laughing. We're like, "Yeah, that's always been there." She'll point out, some Christmas lights that are lit up by the church, and she'll get super excited because she hasn't been able to see Christmas lights in so long. So that was my little Christmas miracle story that I wanted to share with you guys in today's video. And let me know down below if you guys have any stories that are Christmas miracles, whether they're big or small. I love hearing about really fun and enjoyable Christmas stories from you guys.
And we might just be stuck for a week or more now, but that don't bother us none. If anything, it sounds like a barrel of fun. Let's just have our Christmas of our own. A Christmas of our own. Let's forget about the world outside and disconnect our telephone. A Christmas of our own, with no big choir singing, caroling, and church bells ringing. Let's just have our Christmas of our own. We'll decorate our little Christmas tree
I just love it when we're together.
with garlands, bows, and ribbons. It's as pretty as can be.
Oh, so pretty.
We'll make ourselves some gingerbread and drink some spiced mulled wine. Now doesn't that sound more than just fine? Let's have a Christmas of our own. Let's forget about.
So to finish off the tree, I am just going to be putting on this tree topper that I got from Target, and I'm going to connect the lights to the tree with this timer that I also got from Target. And here's the tree all complete, and I was really excited to finally be able to decorate a tree this year and also have a tree that looks so full. And I put a little bit of touch of Disney because y'all know I cannot resist a fun Disney ornament. So moving on to the recipe for today, these are all of my seasoning that I'm going to be using. I'm going to use some cumin, some salt, onion powder, red cayenne pepper, paprika, and then I'm also going to use black pepper. Here are my sea scallops that I just got from Sprouts. They were on sale, so it was a really good deal. You're also going to need some olive oil. You're going to want some pineapple chunks and pineapple juice. I also sliced up one plantain into about 1.5 inch slices, and then I also have a sliced jalapeno, and then I have a ton of cilantro that I just pulled off the stem, and then I also have some lime juice that I'm going to be using as well. So the first thing that I'm doing is just seasoning up these scallops. I'm going to make sure to season them on both sides, and the key thing in here is to make sure that the seasoning is evenly coated, so that way when you have it in the pan, it doesn't get like too brown, because you don't want the spices to burn, and that kind of goes for any recipe that you season. And then in a cast iron skillet, I just have some vegetable oil. I'm going to turn that on to medium-high heat. And then in a non-stick skillet, I'm going to put in a little bit of the olive oil over medium-high heat as well. And then for the salsa, I'm going to be putting in the pineapples with the juice from the can, and then I'm going to be putting in my jalapeno. I'm also going to add in all of the cilantro, and then I'm going to add in a little bit of that lime juice. You could use freshly squeezed lime juice, that would actually be ideal, but I just didn't have any on hand. And then I'm just going to blend that up, and that's going to be the sauce. Super simple. And then when the oil is hot in my cast iron skillet, I'm just going to put in the pieces of plantain, because we are going to be making tostones. And then when the oil in my nonstick skillet was nice and hot, I went ahead and started searing off my scallops. And you want to make sure that the pan is really nice and hot, so that way you can get a good crust on there. And then to give the scallops a little bit of extra flavor, I'm going to put in a little bit of lime juice. And then here are the scallops all done, nice and seared. And then here are the plantains. They're cooking up. And then I just flatten those out with a mallet. And then here is the completed dish. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And again, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!